subject of foreign workers already working in Canada always been a controversial topic among immigration professionals and especially foreign workers themselves. But also there is a third party, employer. We'd like to explore the recent changes in Canadian immigration regarding foreign workers that were implemented as a public policy. What is interesting here, and I have it in front of me, it's quite complicated, but in a nutshell, it's related and covering those workers who are in transition. For example, you work for the company, your work permit expiring, the company applied for extension of your work permit based on a new Lmia, and definitely in this case you can stay on what they call maintained status and continue working on conditions already prescribed in your original contract. That is clever. That's no question about it. That's understandable. Second category is more clever and more interesting for our major clientele. For example, our clients in startup visa may benefit from this. For example, you are work permit exempt or working in a position where your work permit is not required. But now you have to apply for work permit due to certain categories of occupations and licensing requirements. Many reasons for that. But in those cases, in those rarer cases rather, you may need to apply for work permit. In this case, you also can benefit from this new public policy because you can start working on that position already once you apply for that work permit if all other conditions are met. One point is critical to mention, and I think that's the most controversial. If you have your work permit, but you apply for another position, you can take that position without expecting the result of your new work permit that you apply for that new position that you found yourself, let's say. Who can benefit from this? Why it's controversial and most interesting part of this new public policy and legislature? Imagine employer looking for employee, for worker all over the world, found one, brought him to Canada. That person is here working happily, both sides satisfied with each other, but then something happened, or maybe the employee or worker, what they call it, a foreign worker, found some other position in Canada. What about loyalty? What about obligations, mutual commitment? Well, in this case, this public policy opens the door for those workers to switch employer and apply for new position and start working that's the most critical part, start working on that position without even receiving the approved work permit that new employer applied. What is controversial here is the subject of loyalty, like I mentioned, subject of commitment and obligations on both sides, because prior to this public policy, interpretation of regulations was quite clever. You found new position, it's your right, but you have to apply for LMIA. The company has to apply for LMIA, and then you have to apply for work permit based on that LMIA. And once you have that work permit in place, you can switch jobs. Now you don't have to wait. You can actually switch positions once that person, that company apply for that person, and new work permit still in progress. As a result of this public policy, many people can benefit from this, and I can see that implemented in cases of layoffs or employment shortages in certain areas, and people can apply for other jobs. That's beneficial. But as always, we recommend people to be very, very careful when they approach new companies looking for a job, because all other factors must be considered. Qualification for a job, guarantee is not there that your work permit will be approved. So switching jobs frivolously would make consequences that may destroy your immigration status in the future. And always remember, if you work in certain categories and count on experience in certain occupation, let's say you want to apply for immigration in the future, that may trigger some changes that would be irreversible and may damage your immigration history. So be careful. And as always, if you have any comments regarding this new public policy, maybe you want to share some information, leave your comment below. As always, Subscribe to our channel, like it, share it with someone you think may benefit from this, and stay safe by staying informed.